Alright, hello everybody, my name is AhnoldRunningMan. I hope you guys are having a swell time and all good things, yes of course. Okay, before I begin, I just want to say an epic thank you to everyone. The support in the comments is amazing. Good or bad, negative or positive, I don't care, I love it, I hate echo chambers. Honestly, I have been loving the discussions going on in my last videos about this determined thing and the PTS stuff, because honestly, I love treating my comments section like a forum, and it's great because, again, I would like to see other people's perspectives on this, because mine is just, I don't like it, don't touch it, leave it alone, do something else. Whereas other people, you know, when they bring up the the negative critical hit chance talent, they would. Honestly, it is pretty valid in thinking that that would actually be good for a speedrunning build. That would make a lot of sense, actually. I didn't think about that. Thankfully, thanks to the comments section, and, you know, just telling me I'm retarded or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I have now learned that perspective matters. So please, do not be scared. Tell me everything you're thinking. I would love to hear it. I love the discussion. I have been making it a habit to reply to almost every single comment I possibly can, as long as it's, you know, necessary for me to comment. Obviously, if the statement's just like, oh yeah, let's go, I can be like, haha, other than like, you know what I mean, So here we go. I haven't logged into Division since that last They Don't Care video. I haven't even touched the Division. I haven't even touched the PTS. However, I have been watching videos. I have been watching stuff. I have been reading comments on other people's videos discussing the topic and wondering and debating with myself if I should continue making content Division 2, because clearly the devs don't know what the hell they're talking about or don't know what the hell they're thinking, because this doesn't make any sense to me. I already kind of skimmed through this, and I'm gonna tell you, it already irritates me. They don't see it. What I think they think of me personally is they think I want to keep the broken thing. Not really. I don't want to keep the broken thing. It would be better if you just buffed everything else, right? And then that, you know, all the sniper talents, as I said in the comments section, sniper talents, MMR talents, they suffer. Why is Determined and Headhunter the best pick? For, again, disclaimer, for low tier content. Because again, you can't really bring Determined Headhunter into high tier content unless you are willing to really, really invest in that build. That's the thing. Therefore, if you actually invest in that build to bring that in there, then you know what? Bravo. That's deserved. That is warranted. That is vindicated. You need to do that. However, most of the time, for most people, the norm, like myself, the everyday Joe who plays this game, Determined and Headhunter is nothing more than just a low-tier content. It's locked to low-tier content. It's locked to up to Legendary, if you're lucky and if you're willing. It's locked to just that point. And there isn't really anything else to really do. You can't bring that into escalation, again, unless you are willing to really, really invest into that. So it's locked there. It's perfect. It should be left alone. Buff the other talents. Therefore, you have something to actually work with. You have something to actually play with. Because right now, you just have Determined, because that's just the best. It's just the best thing. But again, it's locked to low tier content. You can't really use it in escalations. You can't really use it in master missions. You can't really use it in the climax missions or whatever you want to call them. You can't use it in raids. You know what? You see what I mean here? It's locked to the base content. It can't go anywhere else, really. That's my thing. That's what I want to see. I just want MMR talents to be buffed or reworked. And also, buff every other rifle that isn't the goddamn 1886. Because no one knows other rifles exist, it seems, because everyone just brings up the 1886 because it's the best rifle to pair with Determined Headhunter. That's a problem. That's not an issue the players have found. That is a problem the devs need to fix. They need to mend. Urban MDR. Come on. Bring it back from the dead. That exotic urban MDR that you get from the Descent reward, borderline, useless. It's literally useless. You can't even use it. The damage is so subpar. The rifle with the other exotic rifle that has explosive rounds, really cool concept. I love it to death. However, shit damage. Really shit damage. You're depending on the explosion more so than the actual thing shooting at something. You see my point here? Like that's the problem. They need to just buff the rifles and then buff the talents. All right, let's continue because I could go on for hours about this. Determined. Talent and marksman rifles. Determined was one of the most discussed changes during the PTS, and the feedback around it was divided. Some of you supported the change and wanted to see more options for MMR builds, while others asked us to leave it as is. One of the main reasons we wanted to make this change is interaction between the current version of Determined and Headhunter. Once Determined is active, a body shot converted into a headshot can trigger Determined again if it kills the enemy. Combined with Headhunter, this allows the chain to continue after the initial headshot kill. This leaves us with less room to improve MMRs and any related gear, because increasing their damage can make the Determined plus Headhunter setup even stronger. Another reason, and one that is just as important, is the work we are doing in the endgame beyond Red Horizon. We have more additions planned for you, and part of preparing for that means addressing some of the balance issues and meta outliers that can limit what we can do. Determined is one of those cases. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here and then talk about what they did. And this is the thing. Iron Will, the exotic chess piece that is releasing with Red Horizon, this basically, and this is the best way I can put it, this basically moves the goalpost and allows exotic snipers to use Determined. How is this a fix, I ask you? And seriously, I would love in the comment section to anyone tell me, how is this a fix to this? If what they're describing is true, they want to find better balance. Why would you move and allow exotic snipers to use Determined? Because now you just gave every exotic sniper that's really strong, and they are really strong. And get this, if you wanted to be a sniper rifle user in high tier content, you're going to be using the Shroud, the Prima Donna, or literally any exotic sniper that's in the game. That's your best use case because, again, the other ones suffer. Now you just allowed every one of those snipers to automatically, mind you, be a headshot. You don't even need to get your initial headshot with this Iron Will chest piece. Just gotta wait for the cooldown. So I don't get it. I don't understand what they're talking about when they're saying that. This is the thing I don't understand, because if they seriously do have more additions planned for you, why would you allow exotic snipers to use Determined? You just moved the goalpost. You just allowed the Determined builds. Basically, if you just switch it up to exotic sniper, you just allowed that into high tier content. Determined Headhunter was literally locked to low tier content. It could not go above that. For the average Joe, that's where it stayed. It never really went to Legendary for most people. If you were going to bring it to Legendary, you had to really try. Let's be real. It's not just easy willy-nilly. So I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Iron Will just literally moved the goalpost. You are now allowed to use exotic snipers, the most hardest hitting weapon in the games. They now have infinite headshots. Just gotta have it on a cooldown. So no, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. This was a dumb mistake, in my opinion. It should have been left alone, because again, it was locked to low tier content. Now you just open the floodgates. If anything, this is what Massive should have done. If you guys had balls, this is what you should have done. Remove Determined altogether. Remove it altogether. Remove everything that has anything to do with infinite headshots. Remove it altogether. Or fix it, essentially. Make it as work is intended. And at the same time, provide broken talents for sniper rifles. And I mean make them broken for an entire season long. And the entire feedback of everyone, use that. If Massive had serious balls, they would do that. But they didn't. They instead made the problem worse, in my opinion. So no, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Please, someone talk to me in the comments and tell me otherwise, because it doesn't make any sense. They even know this. It even says right here. With the final version, determined will function like perfect determined, meaning a converted headshot kill no longer retrigger the talent. But the current chaining functionality is not disappearing completely. It is moving to the Iron Will exotic chest, freeing up the weapon talent slot so you can use it with exotic MMRs, higher end MMRs with a different talent, and pistols like Regulus and the Harvest. This is what I don't get, because the Determined Headhunter is powerful. It's strong. It's broken. It really is. But it was locked to low tier content. Now you just basically open the floodgates, and now everyone's just gonna be used to fucking getting headshots. And now you've opened Pandora's box, because now if you even do any like reworks or buffs to MMR talents, or even just buff MMRs or rifles, you pretty much screwed the pooch. Why is anybody gonna touch that stuff if they're just gonna use Iron Will over Headhunters? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get this mentality. This doesn't make any sense. This is clearly coming from a community of players that don't even play this game. Whoever's telling them that this is a good idea needs to seriously look critically and stop looking at the money about this game and just think critically. Stop adding dumb shit. But whatever. What do I know? What the hell do I know? If you want to make, free safe space gaming in your game, by all means go for it. There's going to be a player like me who doesn't like this. And as much as I want to just be positive about the game, I just effing can't. Because this is what happens. They always do this. This is why someone like me comes around every year on YouTube. This is why someone like me exactly comes around every year after year during a patch. And we quote-unquote complain. I'm not the only one, okay? This is why we complain, because they always change something that doesn't really need to be changed at all. So you make it worse. And the change makes it worse. That's the problem. It's not really a fix. It's more so just a fucking problem. And then they just give it away. Perfect example, mules. The material mules. The character mules that you would make to get materials, because there was absolutely no other way to get materials fast and optimal in the game. And still, currently, there is no optimal way to get materials fast if you're a constant build maker. Oh, but Arnold, I don't make a lot of builds. I only have one build that I go to, and that's my go-to, and I have so many materials. Oh my god. I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. But I can't sit with the same build every goddamn time I play the goddamn game. I like to change it up. Contrary to belief, I'm not a just straight striker user. I love changing it up. But I can't really do that because I'm forced to use strikers because it's the most optimal way to use DPS builds, just so that I can get and beat and speed run through content to get the materials I need to make whatever build I want to make. That's a problem. So when they removed the mules, there was no alternative to getting materials besides only logging into the game when events are up. Because if you log into the game and there's no event up, your time is wasted, essentially. Because you know there's going to be an event in like next week or the 2 weeks time, you know? It's like, I just won't, I'm just gonna wait for that. I'll log in when that comes in. You effectively have made it, you have effectively melded every single person who plays the game into only playing it when the event is up. Which is terrible in my opinion. You should have players just logging in just because they fucking want to, not because it's the most optimal reason to fucking play it at that time. You know what I mean? See, and then they do this. And then here's the kicker. This is the main issue I have with these devs. They always do this. Whenever a problem they see, and they always see it as a problem, whenever there's a benefit to players, whenever there's something that players are quote-unquote abusing on the regular basis, they have to take it away. And this little statement right here sums it up perfectly. We also heard the feedback from those who rely on Determined, because MMR can feel difficult to use without it. This is something we want to address as well. We are looking into handling pass for marksman rifles and rifles to make them feel better to use, although we do not have a timeline to share for that yet. So let me get this straight. You're just going to break something and make something worse All right. And then just be like, bye. we'll figure that out at some point. And then never fucking touch it. This is my problem. This is it right here. This perfectly sums it up right here. This is the recalibration for augments all over again. When they describe that, it's like, no, we're gonna hold off on that. So you got all of these Destiny 2 streamers, content creators, forcing them to play your game, and shocking they didn't experience anything, or shocking that if they did experience anything, they more than likely cut it out of the goddamn fucking video, because you can guarantee they had issues with the game when they were starting it out. But obviously, for looks, they gotta make it look presentable, because we all know how truly broken it is to fucking play this game on a regular basis. Okay, I know how broken it is. The login issues, the echoes, all that stuff. And just to see all these Destiny 2 goddamn creators get that bag just to shill this fucking game irritates the living shit out of me. I can't fucking stand it. I'm really sorry. I love all those guys. I actually genuinely watch a lot of those dudes, those Destiny 2 creators. I do. But just to see them blindly just be positive about the division, just shilling it, basically. And I get it. They're paid. They gotta do it. I understand. You gotta get paid because YouTube advertising sucks. I get it. This is your income. You gotta do it. I seriously do get it. What I can't stand, though, is the not being honest about it. I just can't stand it. Which is why I'll probably never accept a sponsor, because I'll have to be like, is it really good? No, it's not really good. All right, then fuck off. I don't care if you give me $1,000. Go fuck yourself. Like, dude, I just can't. Knowing what I know about this game, I cannot be positive about it. I really can't. For anyone that wants to truly love and try this game out, temper your expectations. Temper your expectations to a bare minimum. Because if you even go past that minimum, you will be surely disappointed. Alright, let's continue. The upcoming Red Horizon season will also include buffs to MMR-related gear sets and brands, including Hotshot and Aces and Eights, as well as increases in MMR damage bonuses on bread sets. We want to give marksman rifle builds more options rather than having so much of their strength tied to one talent combination. I'm so for that. I'm so happy for that. This was one of the harder decisions coming out the PTS, and we know not everyone will agree with it. After reviewing the feedback and looking at where we want to make the game next, we believe this is the right decision to make. We still want to thank everyone who took the time to explain what determined means to their builds and how to use it. But they didn't listen, that's the problem. They don't... Because this... Okay, for me, again, I'm not a determined Headhunter user. I don't really use the build. It doesn't really affect me. However, this is the same exact thing they did to me when it came to True Patriot builds when it first was nerfed to the ground, and the Hunter Fury builds when it was also nerfed to the fucking ground, which it hasn't been fucking touched again. Hunter's Fury was the ultimate risk versus reward build, and they basically nerfed it into the fucking ground where you get little to no health back. Sorry. Armor back, okay? And just because it was abused in the PvP, they had to fucking nerf it for the PvE side of it. It was too strong. Now, again, they basically made Strikers the ultimate go-to DPS build. I don't care about the math when it comes to tipping scales and Striker build. It doesn't fucking matter. It's the fact that Strikers is the most versatile, it's the most speedy, it works in general use for everything. I would love to use my Hunter's Fury builds. However, it's nothing more. It's regulated nothing more than a Regulus headshot build. That's the best and funnest, in my opinion, way to use that goddamn build. More so now because that Iron Will talent is in the game now, or will be in the game. So you can just use that. You don't have to try for headshots anymore, which is another problem. You basically took out skill out of the game now because you can use it with exotics. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand the thinking about this, and they don't have a timeline to share when it comes to like buffing talents for the sniper rifles or rifles or whatever the hell. They have no timeline for it. So even bigger issue. So you guys are gonna wait, right? Never gonna touch it. Goodbye. See you in like maybe 3 years if the game is still active. When they finally touch it. 3 years. All right. And they do this. This is what they do. This is what we've all grown to be comfortable with. And the thing is, again, this is why someone like me comes around year after year, patch after patch. This is why someone like me comes around and quote unquote complains. We're not complaining about something specific. We're complaining about the fact that it's the same fucking song and dance every goddamn time. When you like something, when players are abusing something for too much, they have to either nerf it to the ground or just break it, because they see it as that it's not working as intended, we need to remove it. Instead, what they should be looking at as, what else is suffering? We should be looking at other stuff. And then maybe think about nerfing Hunter's Fury. No, instead they just pull the trigger because it's the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest thing to do, and that's what they're going to do, and then never touch it again. Hunter's Fury has not been touched again. It is genuinely only regulated to a headshot build with pistols and the Regulus. More so now, more than ever. And it's pointless. It's genuinely pointless to use the Hunter's Fury in a team and use submachine guns and shotguns with it. It's genuinely pointless because enemies are more stronger when you're in a group. And if you want Hunter's Fury to be good, you got to be all red. So there's that, and you have no armor, and you have to get close to get that amp damage, and also make it count towards your stacks. So yeah, it's not worth it. You're better off just using strikers and staying from a distance. Do you see my point here? Like, they do this, and people think I'm complaining about it, but it's not just complaining. It's in my opinion, I feel like I'm valid for thinking these things because they do this every time, and they'll just never effing fix it. And I don't get it because it's just easier to just nerf it or break it or make it work as intended, call it a day, and then never share a timeline when they're going to fix the problem, actually fix the problem, and then eventually just say, it's fine where it is, we're just never going to touch it. They'll just never fucking touch it. They'll never talk about it again. That's the thing. They'll never talk about this again. Marksman rifles and rifles won't ever be buffed. The talents will never be reworked. They'll just touch it. They'll just touch up a gear set and then call it a day. Mark my words. That's what they're going to do. If not, then color me surprised. You went against my beliefs. That's great. I want to see that more. But this is what I see. There it goes. Bye-bye sniper rifles for your low-tier content. Welcome exotic snipers into the fray. Welcome. Now you can do determined into high-tier content. That's great. Good job, Massive. Really, really good job. I'm so proud of you for basically just giving it away and making everyone comfortable for headshot only builds. No trying at all. But what do I know? I'm just complaining about something, about an 8-year-old game. What the fuck do I know? Clearly this is better. Yeah. If you guys had balls, you would have just taken out determined, but before taking it out, you would have worked on the talents at the get-go. That would have been your intention first, and then either remove determined or fix it, but not release this goddamn chest piece. This just moves the goalpost. You just allowed exotic snipers to be used in high-tier content. I'm AhnoldRunningMan. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please join the discussion. Please post your comments down below. I would love to respond to every single one of them and read your perspectives on this. I don't know if I'm going to make content about this game anymore. I'll still play it with my friends, but aside from making content about it, I just don't think so. Which kind of sucks because I know you guys all follow for the Division 2 content. But if they keep on making shit like this, like this is what would have to happen if I were to make a comeback to this game, making content about it. They would have to revert this whole thing. I'm sorry, but I particularly don't want everyone to just be comfortable being able to just pop headshots like they're fucking nothing. I'm not comfortable with that. And they just made it better. So yeah, I think if you removed Iron Will, fix determined, make it work as intended, but you would have to either rework or buff the MMR talents and the rifles. Those two things need to be buffed or reworked because a lot of the talents are kind of useless. And I'm sure people smarter than me in the comments can tell you that a lot of them would prefer a rework because, in my opinion, when it came to sniper rifle talents and rifles themselves, they don't work well by themselves. They have to be paired with the backpack and chest talent to make it actually viable, which I think is a problem. They should be able to stand on their own 2 feet, but they don't. So yeah, I think if they had the balls, they would remove Iron Will, because you shouldn't make it so easy for the babies to have headshots all the time. My name is AhnoldRunningMan. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So yeah, join the conversation, post your comments, post whatever hate or whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I hate echo chambers. Post whatever. But also, if today was your birthday today or any of the days on the stream or upload on the channel, then of course, have yourself an amazing goddamn birthday. Autobots, transform and roll out.